Cheyenne Wells is really a wonderful place. People really care about each other.
When somebody's in need, everybody comes to help.
If you want to appreciate true beauty, come at harvest time to see some of the most magnificent sunsets you've ever seen. You can see for miles and miles.
Cheyenne Wells does not have a traffic light. Cheyenne Wells only has a half dozen stop signs. A line at the grocery store is 2 people in front of you. My name's Monty Baker. I'm the mayor of the town of Cheyenne Wells, Colorado. I was born in this town in 1960. I've been the mayor now for 20 years. Raised 3 children here. I have 3 grandchildren, 1 on the way. This is home. The Eastern Colorado Bank has been an important part of Cheyenne Wells for 75 years. They've supported and promoted businesses in town, private individuals and their endeavors, both homes, machinery, cattle. I really can't imagine what it would be like without Eastern Colorado Bank, and I'm glad I don't have to imagine that. I walk in the door and everyone says, "Hi, Monty." That still small town atmosphere is what makes Eastern Colorado Bank the bank I'm proud to be with and will stay with. They have been supportive of the community as long as I have been here.
Cheyenne Wells is just a great community to raise a family in. I loved growing up here, and it was just nice knowing everybody that you were around. Hi, my name is Kara Euland. I live in Cheyenne Wells, and I've lived here my whole life. Welcome to Wells Theater. We were built in 2014 when the Cheyenne Wells School consolidated into one building, and this building sat vacant for quite a while, so we decided to that year build this into the theater.
It's important that we started the theater here in Cheyenne Wells because it gives something positive for the youth to do, give them something fun to come back every weekend and participate in. My name is Angie Weed, and I'm the Senior Marketing Director at the Eastern Colorado Bank. We are able to show movies 2 days a week. All the volunteers are not getting paid, and we also are fully funded by donations alone. To give back to the community is really humbling. We really enjoy helping the community.
The Eastern Colorado Bank, we wouldn't be here without them because they have been ones that really supported us from the very beginning. Just this very screen too, that's what we were lacking, the last thing, and they said, you know, we got this for you, we'll get it. The Eastern Colorado Bank really has been great for us. I would hate to imagine our community without them because so many events around town. I mean, they've backed our Tumbleweed Festival every year. Just this last weekend, they sponsored a free movie. Everything they do, I think, is based upon what they can do to better the community and the families in it and their customers.
I've lived in Cheyenne Wells since '91. I've been out here since I was 9 years old working on the family farm. In a small town like this, you can make a difference. If you want to get involved in community activities, politics, you can do it in this community, make a change, make a difference. My name is Scott Scheimer. We're in the town of Cheyenne Wells, Colorado. We're in Hard Bodies Gym and Fitness facility we built in about 20 years ago now. What inspired me to create this facility? I wanted to do something for my community. It's a hobby that I've had that got out of control. Started in the basement of my house, and with the memberships we accumulated, we put them right back in the facility. I wanted to do this for my community, for the adults and for the children, something else for the kids to do in a small town like this. We've had great response to athletic programs, mandatory weightlifting programs. The school buses kids over here to do activities. It was just something I knew I could do for the community. The Federal Home Loan Bank grant for this facility allowed me the opportunity to also put in a racquetball court. I thought it would be a great way to introduce a new sport into our community, and with that grant, they made that possible. For the next 3 years, we had sign-up sheets. People would call weeks in advance, get me signed up so I get my hour in the racquetball court. It generated a lot of energy and excitement in the community for the people that had never played the game before.
My name is Greg Weed. I've lived in Cheyenne Wells most of my life. I am the CEO and the chairman of the bank, and I enjoy living in Cheyenne Wells because of the people here. The mission of the Eastern Colorado Bank is to serve the communities that we are in and make sure that we make them a better place. One of the things I'm most proud of is our duplexes housing project that we've done here in Cheyenne Wells. We had a need for some moderate income housing, and there was really not the returns to justify an investor, so we jumped in there and were able to put up 3 duplexes. We see it as part of our job is to help revitalize the community and provide the housing that they need.
Well, the Eastern Colorado Bank's been very supportive of this community for years. My name's Monty Smith, and I own a company, Smith Construction. I live in Cheyenne Wells, Colorado. It's just a nice, tight-knit community. Some years ago, I was wanting to do some development as far as housing, and I went to Greg and the Eastern Colorado Bank and asked them what they thought of it. And then he came up with the idea that they wanted to do some reinvestment in the community, so he wanted to know if I'd be interested in partnering with them and to do this, and I said, sure, that'd be great. We both saw the need for affordable, nice new housing for people that come into the community, so it's been a good working relationship and beneficial to the community as well. The reason I like to work with the Eastern Colorado Bank is that they're willing to listen to whatever your project may be and work with you to see how they might be able to achieve that project or continue on with it. They're easy to talk to, easy to deal with in all aspects of banking.
I'm Victor L. Weed. I'm about 83 years old now, but I spent over half my life working in this bank. My mother and father started this bank in 1944. I was about 8 years old at that time, and so I've been involved with the bank since it started. As any rural bank, you live with your customers. So we try to treat everybody like we would like to be treated ourselves. And in a small area, a small community like that, makes a big difference.
You know, the Eastern Colorado Bank is a really great place to work. We have a wonderful community here in Cheyenne Wells, as well as all the other towns that we do business in. It allows us to provide jobs for the community. It allows us to provide local decision-making in the financing of our businesses, of our customers. For myself, it's been a real honor and pleasure being able to work in the bank and work with the communities. My name is Brett Legg. I am President and Chief Financial Officer of the Eastern Colorado Bank. The Eastern Colorado Bank uses the Federal Home Loan Bank in several different ways. The first one is the Mortgage Partnership Finance Program. We use that to provide fixed-rate, long-term home loans to our customers. I have one. My daughter, she financed her first home through the MPF program, so it's been extremely beneficial to us. The second one I use is the Federal Home Loan Bank line of credit. For liquidity purposes for us, a lot of our farm customers have very seasonal needs. And the third thing is with interest rate risk management for the bank, so we can provide longer-term fixed-rate financing for the customers. We weren't able to offer those programs until we partnered with the Federal Home Loan Bank.
My name's Cody Hoover, and I run the Ace Hardware here in Burlington, and this is my brother Denton.
I'm Denton Talbert. I run the Cheyenne Wells Lumber Ace store.
I partnered with Monty Smith down there at Cheyenne Wells first, and then this opportunity came available to take over this store, and so we saw a good fit that we could team up. We bought this one, and then a few months later, we ended up acquiring Cheyenne Wells, and worked out pretty good. Taking this first leap, it was a lot. I mean, I spent several hours with Greg Weed trying to get this whole thing up and running from the beginning, and he was really my mentor, coaching me through what things we got to look for.
My favorite part of doing business with the Eastern Colorado Bank is just how easy it is to talk to them.
10:30, you got an idea, you want to run something by them, I can call Greg over the phone and say, hey Greg, this is my idea. It's just kind of nice. You can't do that with big banks, and that's probably my favorite part about doing business with Eastern Colorado Bank.
Kit Carson's a small town of approximately 250 people. Our town is centered around our small school, which is about 110 students, K through 12. It's the main employer in our town. The second main employer is the Eastern Colorado Bank. My name's Amy Johnson, and we're here in Kit Carson, Colorado. I've lived here since 1995. Eastern Colorado Bank is one of the cornerstones of our community. It not only is the place where my family has banked for generations, but it also shows its support in the community by going to the county fair and showing up at the school auctions and supporting the kids in all their little projects and supporting my nonprofit in this affordable housing project that we're doing. I really can't even imagine what we would be without it. My board is comprised of people that work at the Eastern Colorado Bank and spend their spare time helping out in various projects we've done in the community. There's a huge shortage of housing in our small rural community. There's a local helium plant that wants to hire 9 new people. The local school is hiring a new preschool teacher, but there's nowhere to live in Kit Carson. So without projects like these, we would lose out on those people that would otherwise live and work in our communities. Without the support of the Eastern Colorado Bank or the Federal Home Loan Bank grants that we receive, we wouldn't be able to build decent, affordable housing in our community.
Colorado Springs is a very close-knit community. It's a community of giving. Colorado Springs has an exorbitant amount of nonprofits. Even though we have a population above 600,000, it is very easy to bump into people you know all the time. Colorado Springs is a big, small town. My name is Megan Harmon with the Eastern Colorado Bank. I'm the Chief Operations Officer and the Colorado Springs Branch President. People like knowing who their banker is, and they like knowing that there is a local person that they can talk to and deal with. We come from the roots of a small community where everyone knows everyone. The way that we get involved is through our small businesses. And in every community, big or small, you have small business owners and people trying to better your community. Kevin Butcher with Cameron Butcher Company was a customer before we even came to Colorado Springs. He's actually one of the reasons that we came.
I was introduced to Eastern Colorado Bank when they're exploring the idea of opening a new branch in Colorado Springs, and that was the first we met them, and we hit off a great relationship. They funded one of our projects before they even opened the branch, so we had the privilege of being one of their first customers. That was over 20 years ago. I'm Kevin Butcher with the Cameron Butcher Company. We're standing in one of our developments downtown. It's the Casa Mundi. It's a mixed-use apartment and retail complex. We have 27 units, apartments here, and we have about 6,000 square feet of retail on the first floor. Casa Mundi, where we're standing, is the first apartment retail complex that was built new in Colorado Springs in decades. And Eastern Colorado Bank saw the potential in it. We contributed the land we own to the partnership. Eastern Colorado provided the financing, and it's just exciting what we're adding to the downtown. Having people live down here brings consistent life to the city. Now you have a population in the evening, which is better for the businesses. We're also attracting younger people, and by developing residential, we're really strengthening the heart of the city.
This is the Flying W Ranch. It started about 60 years ago by a gentleman, Russ Wolf. He and his wife started a chuck wagon dinner for the residents of the Springs. During its heyday, they served 1,200 meals a night. My name is Carlos Aguirre. My company is Peak Framing. We are a wood commercial framing subcontractor in the Springs. We mainly do bigger log and timber projects. Back in 2012, up on the hills here, the Waldo Canyon fire came over the hill, totally burnt the ranch and over 300 homes down the hill. Russ Wolf's daughter, Leanne Wolf, has taken over and rebuilt the restaurant, and it's due to open Memorial Day 2020. My relationship with the bank has been 10 years now. It actually started 2 weeks prior to my mom passing away. I went to California for the funeral, and when I came back home, I had a sympathy card with everybody from the bank signed it. Which was, you don't hear that from a bank. I'm a person at the bank. I'm not a number. My thoughts about Eastern Colorado Bank receiving the community award is well-deserved. They serve in the community. They help out with school programs at Christmas time. They're very involved in the community, so it's just a natural fit.
I was really quite amazed to know that Federal Home Loan Bank in Topeka would recognize a bank that was out here on the plains. It is quite amazing that we have been recognized by such a very large bank for being such a very good community bank, and I'm really appreciative that that was done.